Here's a super fast tutorial about making maps with CHGIS 1820 data. I have some loaded up here on the layer list, the 1820 layers, and I will make the provinces visible by clicking here. I will change the style to remove the background fill color, simple fill, fill style, no brush, border style, solid line, that's fine. Okay, so let's just say that you want to map these three provinces right here. So first off, you can zoom into the area that you want to make a map of. And you're only interested in these three provinces. So the first thing you do is you can select them with the select tool, and then right click on the layer and do save as. So essentially what you're doing is you want to make sure that you do save only the selected features, and you're creating a new layer with those three. That way you can create those three separately and put them on a desktop as maybe a new province label layer. And I only want the selected features. You make sure it's the correct encoding, which the layer says is GBK, encoding GBK. The CRS, keep the same projection and give it the name and just hit OK. So now I have a layer. You can turn off the other layer, see, and now you have a layer specifically of those three only. So you can go back and you can remove the color the same as the other. Simple fill, no brush. Okay. So now, now it's selected, so to unselect something you can just simply hit this deselect all. So essentially I have two layers on top, one on top of the other. One has only three, and I can label the one that has only the three in it. That way I can control exactly which ones are being labeled. So here's your show labels. I can label it with the fontee name. I can pick the font I want. Depends on your system what you have installed, like Piming Liu, for example, is a typical Chinese font, and make it bigger, make it say 14. And I can give it a white buffer just so that it stands out against the background, and it's white. Okay, hit apply. So now you see that for my whole map I only have the three. This is how I can control exactly what I want to label. Now I can turn off these backgrounds for now. You start to see this clean looking map. Now let's say that I want to add a few points. So let's say I do the same exact method for the counties. The first thing I want to do is just make sure I get the right county. So let's say that if I was zoomed in here and I labeled these so I knew which ones I'm looking at. Properties, labels, show labels, which field? Well, I'll use the fontee field. Okay, so I can see these labels. They're pretty small. Probably just need to increase the label size so I can at least see them. Okay, so here these are. Let's say I wanted Anhua Xian right here. So this layer is active. I'm going to select that point. Now it's selected, it's yellow. Now I want to do exactly the same thing, save as. So I'll go to my desktop, same as I did before, but this time it's going to be county labels. So this is the same exact principle, creating a selection only, save only the selected feature, there's only one, and say OK. So there it is. So now I can turn off all my county labels, but I still have the one that I selected. And I can label it. Properties, and labels, and fontee. There it is. And I'll just make it, I'll use the system font and make it bigger. Okay. So there it is. So now another thing I can do is zoom out to the province label layer. Essentially this is my area of interest, so I can control my movement easily by having selected those. And now I have a point of interest, and if I want to add more points, this is the trick. See, you can turn your full counties layer on, and let's say that this other one I wanted was Tianmenxian. So now what I can do is I can make this layer the county points layer, editable. Okay. Select the Tianmen point. That's the only one I want selected. And now hit copy features. Okay. Now I make it uneditable. I haven't saved any changes. Haven't made any changes. Now I'll go to my county, turn this off, and go to my county points layer and make it editable. And now I can just simply paste the features in. See? Now I have two features in there. Now if I go here and try to close it, it will ask me if I want to save it, and I say save. So that way I can accumulate the different points that I want to show on my map, and I can control exactly which features get labeled. And then, you can make multiple maps by saving this, creating a print composer and composing the map you want. You can go here and you could convert this to grayscale later if you want, or just leave it simple and clean like this. Let's leave it simple and clean. Okay, here's a print composer. Give it a title. It's a test map. Okay, now the way print composer works is really quite strange. You're basically taking the view that you're seeing on your map, and you're saying that you want to add a new map to this canvas. So you just drag the area that you want the map to show up on onto the canvas. That's how it works. Now you can take the main properties of that canvas and you can add a frame to it. See, you can put the thickness of the frame and so on, and you can add things like legend. Scale bar is useful. Just put a scale bar on there, add a scale bar. There you go. It's a scale bar. Move that down. You get the idea. You can adjust, once you're on the scale bar item, you can adjust the scale bar properties as well. Scale bar units and so on, the colors. And you can give it a title. The title's a little weird. You can go up here and you have to go into this box to control the letters. So you say, this is my map of Anhua and Tianmen counties. You can control the font for that, kind of the font, size of the font, make it Gothic, sans serif, whatever you like, make it bold, change the size of this, move it around. You can change the background to be a solid color, and you can then export your map. You can save this whole composition for future use. Composer, export as image. You can just say, here's my test map, and say save. Okay. And then if you were to go to your desktop, you should find not only the two layers that you saved there, but this test map, which will look pretty much the way you set it up to look in QGIS. So that's a really short introduction to making maps with QGIS and the CHGIS 1820 data.